What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash yet again today. It is the 6th day of July, and here we are at about $443 with roughly 10 and a half hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it, my friends. Yeah, here we are, down 4% on the day. Bitcoin itself is down about 3.2% on the day, so that's not too bad. Right? Being a little bit more down than Bitcoin, that's pretty normal. What I don't like is that you're below the 236, but you still have 10 hours, 10 and a half hours, a little bit more than that left in the day. So if you can come back up by the end of the day and just close, you don't even have to close green, but just close above this red candle. That's the idea, right? That's what you need to see. And in fact, let's see how much is that percentage wise. You just need to move up 2%. That's all. You could do that in an hour. You've got 10 and a half of those. So plenty of time. Maybe you come down, maybe you don't, whatever the case may be. But again, as I said yesterday, whenever I flipped bullish, we remain bullish so long as we're closing above 452. It's okay that you've gone below here. It's totally fine that you have. But bullish to the effect of going to, what was it, 550, 560, what was it? 500, maybe $550. Yeah, 550, 560. Yeah, somewhere right in there. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, zooming in here, seeing if we can figure out where things are going. You have seen a little bit of tapering off with your highs, right? A little bit of tapering off here, kind of rounded out. It's almost like you have a head and shoulders pattern, almost, right? And you've got these the volume profile matches with that. You're breaking out now. That could be it. That could be the low. You start to recover from here. Who knows? Maybe you go a little bit lower, but you're very near the low. As you're moving down, you are increasing in volume, and that is a little bit concerning, to be fair, right? You broke out, volume's increasing. Seems as though you do want to go down. Let's look and see, and maybe you go down a little bit lower. Volume decreases, and then that's our low point there, wherever it might be, at prior support, prior resistance, wherever. But the key here is that we need to bounce. We need to close above. Was it 452? What was it? Yeah, 452.2. 1 hour RSI. To me, seems like it's actually at a fair area to bounce, right? You've got these lower lows coming in line there. Boom, boom, boom. Might make sense to bounce here. And maybe the RSI does bounce here. Maybe that's the low. And then you come down, you get a higher low. But in that higher low, you get a lower low in the price, and that gives you some bullish divergence. We'll see. Stochastics have reset. A good place to come up from. The MACD, you bounced off the zero, but you just didn't get anything from it. That's the sad thing. So right there, I didn't make a video here, but if we were looking at this, looking at the MACD, even looking at the RSI, finding resistance here in tandem with its lower highs, I think it would have been obvious somewhere here that you were about to drop down a little bit. How far down? I don't know if that would have been easy to say because, again, are we at the low? Do we have lower to go? That still remains as a question. We could go down to like 430. It's very common to wick a little bit below the yellow line, the 382, so we could go to like 425, 431, somewhere, anywhere between that area. But then again, from here, that's the trick, is to move back up and close above 452. I will say, if we close below 452 one day, but then we can get back above it the next day, okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's not ideal. Weird things happen, but that's fine. If we close below 452 and I'm looking at the short-term stuff and it looks like we want to go back up and it looks like we're about to move up, it might not be as detrimental. But for now, I'm sticking with the 452 area being very critical. Okay. Sometimes you disrespect critical zones. It's okay. Be open-minded. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes closing below 452, closing below that 236 equals death and destruction and demise, and we will flip bearish accordingly should that happen. Let's see. It really does just look like you're in a consolidation phase, though, overall. 4 hour RSI. And you're down here at the 40. Good area to bounce from. You could be bouncing right now. I mean, the low really could be in. 2 hours, 34 minutes left. If you do this, if you can close this 4 hour candle like this with this little spinning top at the bottom down here, you got a solid body down. You got the spinning top right here. This is actually set up for a reversal. If you can get a solid body back up, it doesn't have to engulf this candle. It just has to be a solid body of any kind, of any type, of any variety. You get a solid body up. That would likely imply that this is a reversal point at which we do start to climb higher. That would look really good. That little 3 candle setup, solid body down, spinning top, or a doji candle, and then a solid body up. Stochastics have reset, checks out. MACD technically overall is bullish, even though yes, you're red right now. And it doesn't have to close green. Just some type of doji down here. It can close red, but spinning top doji, whatever. And the RSI, it is actually at a good point to bounce as well. Daily time frame. The thing here with the daily is you have broken out of this downtrend. You've broken out of the lower high, lower low downtrend. Yes, you do have a higher high here in your RSI with a lower high here in your price, but maybe that's what this pullback is, from 478 down to like 437. That's what you've seen so far. And maybe you go down a little bit lower. Maybe that's what this pullback is. That's that hidden bearish divergence playing out. Hidden divergence doesn't mean huge drop. It just means a little bit of stagnation. It could mean continuation, or it could mean a hiccup in what is a new trend higher. Stochastics have hit the overbought zone, staggering a little bit here, but we've seen that before and then pressed on. MACD, bullish momentum is waning. It can come back. Depending on how we close today, it can come back. It can definitely come back. So we'll see. And even if it wanes, sometimes that happens and then you continue to build anyways. So I mean, overall right now, the MACD on the daily time frame is bearish, but you do seem to have a change in the trend of your oscillators, and that's not nothing, okay? That's not nothing at all, so something to take into consideration there. Weekly time frame. I don't like the rejection off the oversold zone, but what I do like is the lack of rejection in the price. Yes, you did dump off immediately here, and that does scare me. That makes me, think that we do have lower to go as time goes on. But depending on how high we go here, guys, I mean, if we can get rid of this double top look, maybe this was a once-in-a-lifetime one-off kind of weirdness that you see in crypto, and then we just start to rally. That'd be nice to see. Zcash would definitely be going above $1,000 if that happened. This would be one massive flop on whoever sold here, Arthur Hayes, and whoever else sold there. But yeah, by the way, again, the idea, what was promoted in the news, was that Zcash had a fatal flaw that could have been potentially exploited. It wasn't exploited. First off, it wasn't exploited, but it was the unlimited money glitch, right, where they could just print as many Zcashes as they wanted to, and nobody exploited that. They fixed it. But that was the reason why. It's not the reason why, but that's what the media says is the reason why. The reason why that's BS is because, first off, it got fixed. Nobody exploited it. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That shows the developers are paying attention. It's not just like, sometimes things get overlooked and that happens, but man, it didn't bite us in the ass. It's a good thing. They fixed it and they sold. You might be thinking, well, they fixed it after they sold. No, they literally fixed it like this day. They announced it on the 1st of June that this money glitch bug happened, and it had been fixed on the 1st of June. And then the price dumped, right? It was nothing to do with that. Insiders were selling, and I think they're selling for another reason. I think they know something that's coming. I think that we will go down, but maybe first, we come up a little bit and then we come back down. I am right now expecting that we get above this high, just above this high, and then we sell off. It'll be a lower high overall. It'll get people excited. Then we sell off, and we likely do inevitably go below here. I still believe Zcash in time will go below $100 and all that stuff, but for now, we're just seeing a little bit of upside volatility as well. I don't have anything else to say. I've said it all. There are some potentially good things going on the weekly time frame. It depends on how we react, how we behave, how we carry ourselves over the coming month. But if we can, get back above 500 and start closing some price action above $500 on a weekly basis, multi-weekly basis, I think that would really start to look like this was just a one-off and we are about to rip higher. I don't believe that. I'm not there yet. I'm more open-minded to it now than I have been over the past month, but I still am in the belief that we have lower to go, that this will be proven to be a double top. Prove me wrong. Get back above $600. Prove me wrong. Do it. Close weeks that are at, let's see. Close weeks that are, above 552, above 635. Close weeks above here. And if you do that, I would expect that we go higher. Zcash has proven to be tricky already, guys. Closing above the 886 like this, I mean, that's typically a golden ticket to this area here. We were so excited. And the next week you flopped. And the next week you came back up to the 886 and then you flopped, right? Massive black swan crash. And now we're down here. If you come back up to the 886, you close above there, I highly doubt that we're going anywhere but $1,000 to $2,000, somewhere in that range. But I'm not of that belief that happens right now. I'm open to changing my mind on that. For now, I just believe that we're going to go to 550, 560, and we'll see how it goes. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.